Yo, what is up, everyone? My name is Dom, and we're here to talk about unusual options activity. Alright, let's kick it off with the disclaimer. So, disclaimer, this video is for educational purposes only. The statements made in this programming are solely the opinion of the show and are not a specific inducement to making an investment. One must perform their own due diligence and realize that all investments carry risk. There's no guarantee of profit. Alright, everyone. So, first one I want to bring up is AMD. Now, they reported a blowout quarter. They raised revenue guidance, 200% EPS growth, earnings per share growth. They had, I think they doubled their revenue in the data center, which is high margin chips. So investors really like that. Just absolute blowout quarter. Raised guidance for next year. Absolutely blew out the numbers. I think they had like quadruple their revenue growth between the data center and gaming chips. So just unbelievable quarter, in my opinion. Now, as you can see, the stock actually traded down today. It was up earlier in the day, and it actually closed down. Now, as you can see here, there's a huge amount of call buying in AMD. Now, these are extremely short term, so it leads me to believe there's a lot of retail buying here. You know, there is a significant amount of puts. I'd say there's definitely a lot more calls than puts being traded here. You know, if you just scroll through some of these months, you know, you'll see, you know, the calls start to outweigh the number of puts here, you know, substantially. You know, even on some of these weekly options here, you know, there is a lot of calls being traded. So, you know, next step I do is when I go down to the time of sales here, you know, you'll see some of these put trades here. You know, these are like relatively small, you know, 9 cents, 19 cents. I wouldn't really worry too much about those. You know, if you dig deeper here and, you know, drill down, you know, there's people buying some far dated 2023 calls here. You know, maybe a part of a spread. You know, they may be shorting some puts as well with that. You know, there's a nice order here for some October 120 calls. Somebody's buying the May 96 strike calls. You know, overall, there's just a lot of buying. August 120 calls. Now, that is really far out of the money. That's like 30-40% out of the money. Now, I think kind of a drag on AMD stock is the fact that they're buying Xilinx. I like the acquisition. It diversifies their company, you know, into cars and a whole bunch of other semiconductors other than, you know, computers and the data center. You know, Xilinx is also in the data center as well, so, you know, just kind of gives them a leg up there. I like the CEO. I believe in Lisa Su. I believe in the acquisition. I like the stock chart here. You know, it kind of has done nothing for, you know, since August of last year. You know, it has traded up. It's traded down. You know, it pains me to say this. I don't know if I personally would be rushing into AMD here. You know, I have a big stock position on, so I'm not buying any calls here. If it trades down, I will probably buy calls. But, you know, this thing kind of has been trading miserably lately. But, you know, I personally, in my opinion, I think this is a great long-term hold, and I have a stock position. I probably will not be adding the calls unless it gets down to this 74 level. I might even be adding the stock if it gets down to this 74 level. It looks like it has some really nice support here, and it doesn't break below there. But, you know, I think AMD, in my opinion, is a good buy around 80. It's not bad here around 84, especially after this quarter. The stock is a lot cheaper just after this quarter report. So, next one I want to bring up is XLE, the energy ETF. Now, you know, I know everyone's not a big fan of energy stocks. These are definitely not long-term holdings for me. But, you know, energy stocks led my portfolio today. So it's important, in my opinion, to be diversified because, you know, energy stocks led my portfolio today. I have some positions in some other energy stocks besides the XLE. Now, there was a lot of calls traded today. And, you know, you could contribute that, you know, people buying a lot of calls because the stock was up, you know, quite a bit here. You know, if you just scroll through these months here, you know, there's a lot of call buying. You know, April 30th, you know, I have brought up these 54 vertical spread calls before. You know, we do have a loss in this one, but I've been adding to it. So, you know, today was a good day for these options. You know, there's some 22,000 contracts traded here, 15,000 contracts traded here, a lot of short-term contracts. You know, if you come down to the time of sales, there's a lot of interesting option orders, you know, going on over here. You know, it looks like there's some vertical spreads here. You know, someone buying the 52, 55 call spread, and, you know, just overall some interesting diagonal spreads here. So, you know, I'm short-term bullish on energy stocks here. You know, they did have a nice pullback here. You know, XLE traded up to about this 54 level, you know, traded down to 46. So, you know, that's about a, you know, 10% give or take a hair percent pullback. So, you know, I personally think energy is, you know, ready to take the next leg higher. There are so many people that are underweight energy. I am even underweight energy, even though I own a considerable amount of it. You know, I think there is a little bit of room here to add some energy stocks. So, thanks to everyone who's been subscribing. I really appreciate it. Make sure to keep the subscribing up. Make sure to leave a comment down below if you got any questions, and we'll see you in the next one, everyone.